Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's talk AI. If you're in any kind of leadership role, you know it's the biggest thing on the horizon. Part challenge, part massive opportunity. So today, we're going to break down what it really means to lead in the age of AI.
And let's just kick things off with a pretty wild number, 80%. Yeah, that's the failure rate for corporate AI initiatives. Seriously, 8 out of every 10 projects just fizzle out. They don't deliver any real value.
So what's the deal? With billions of dollars being poured into this, how can that be? Well, here's the twist. This isn't a tech problem. It's a leadership problem. And in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to tackle. How to get on the right side of that statistic. First, we're going to dig into this high-stakes paradox. Then, we'll talk about a whole new blueprint for what it means to be an executive. After that, we'll get into the really crucial part, the human side of things. And finally, we'll wrap up with a practical playbook you can actually use to lead the change.
Okay, let's dive right in. The first thing we have to do is really get our heads around this huge disconnect, this gap between all the AI hype and what's actually happening on the ground.
I mean, it's kind of crazy when you look at the numbers. Investment in AI has gone up 8-fold in just 2 years. But all that cash is flying around, and yet only about a fifth of companies are seeing any real, tangible value from it. That's the paradox we need to solve.
And you know, this table right here, this really gets to the core of it. It's like everyone's speaking a different language. The vendors and the users are looking at the exact same problems, but they're seeing completely opposite causes. It's a total communication breakdown. And that's not a tech issue, that's a leadership issue.
And the price tag for getting this wrong? Whoa. For an average Fortune 500 company, we're talking about $250 million a year in wasted labor costs. Just think about that, all from bad decisions that AI was supposed to help fix in the first place.
So this really brings us to the main point. AI isn't just another tool you can plug into your old way of doing things. It's not another app. It's a total system upgrade for leadership itself, and it demands a completely new blueprint. And you can really see the difference here, right? The old way was all gut feeling and quarterly reports. The new way? It's about taking that crucial human intuition, that experience you have, and absolutely supercharging it with data-driven insights. It means you're not just planning for the next quarter, you're adapting in real time.
This shift is so fundamental that we're seeing entirely new jobs pop up in the C-suite. And these aren't just glorified IT roles. These are strategic leaders focused on making sure AI is woven into the very fabric of the business, thinking about everything from ethics to ROI. But look, getting the right execs in place is just one piece of the puzzle. You know, the tech is actually the easy part. The really tricky bit, the most important challenge, it's the people. It's navigating the human side of all this change.
Because at the end of the day, you have to remember why you're doing this. The goal of AI isn't just to replace people, it's to amplify them. It's about letting the technology handle the repetitive, boring stuff so your team can focus on what humans do best, building relationships, thinking strategically, and solving complex problems.
And let's be real, the workforce is feeling this. People are nervous. More than half of them are more worried than they are excited. That fear of being replaced is real. And on top of that, we're looking at a massive global need for reskilling. So as a leader, you're not just rolling out new software. You're managing fear, you're managing uncertainty, and you're leading a skills revolution.
This quote right here, this is probably the most important story you can tell your team. It is spot on. The narrative isn't AI is coming for your job. The narrative is the person using AI is going to have a huge advantage over the person who isn't. It's about evolution, not replacement.
So what does that evolution actually look like?
Well, take a sales rep. Imagine AI handling all the tedious lead qualification. Suddenly, that person isn't just a sales rep anymore. They're a strategic partner who has the time to build deep relationships and negotiate complex deals that a machine could never touch.
Okay, so we get the problem. We get the human stakes. Now let's get down to brass tacks. What is the actual playbook? What are the concrete steps for leading this change?
Right. You can't just flip a switch and turn on AI. It's a journey, and this is your roadmap. It all starts with a clear vision, the why. But then look at what follows, investing in your people, starting small with pilots, building a culture of collaboration. It's a loop. You have to constantly monitor, learn, and adapt.
Now let's talk about one of the toughest situations you're going to face. The AI model says go left. Your top expert, someone you've trusted for years, says no way, go right. What do? The key is to see this not as a problem to be solved, but as a learning opportunity.
So here's a pretty practical framework. If the AI is like 95% sure but your team disagrees, you gotta dig deep and find out why. If it's more in that gray area, hey, let's test both ideas on a small scale and see what happens. And if the AI's confidence is low, you trust your people, period. But, and this is the important part, you always document what happened so the model can learn for next time.
So let's bring this all back home. What does this all mean for you as a leader? Well, it means your job is changing, and you need to develop a whole new set of core competencies. A new leadership muscle, really, to not just get through this, but to actually thrive. Think of yourself as having a few new roles rolled into one. You have to be a translator, bridging the gap between cold, hard data and compelling human stories. You have to be an energizer, a cheerleader, getting everyone excited about what's possible. And, maybe most importantly, you have to be the ethical steward, the guide who makes sure all this incredible power is used responsibly. And look, you can start this journey today. You don't have to boil the ocean. Just start by committing to your own understanding of this stuff. Make sure every single AI project is tied to a real business goal. And please, talk to your teams, be radically transparent, and bring them along for the ride.
Because ultimately, this isn't just about technology changing business. It's about technology fundamentally changing what it means to be a leader. And the leaders who lean in, who learn, adapt, and guide their teams with both vision and empathy, they're the ones who are going to define the future.